I've had my head pulled out of my novel writing and back to working in my journals and my art. A number of things have brought it about. I'm in Fountain Pens Australia group, which I thoroughly enjoy, and I purchased some great buys in Lamy fountain pens from a fellow member there, and everybody loves a good buy. Good to get your art tools secondhand from people that you can trust and save a bit of money if you can. And I think a lot of my journaling and my talking in videos will be about saving money but still having quality, because well, art supplies are very expensive and sometimes we have to pay for the best to get a good result, but where we can save money, it sure helps. I'm fortunate enough to have a back quantity of high quality watercolour paper. This is Fabriano Artistico that I'm working on, and that is very high-end stuff, but of course I bought that back when I was a professional artist, so I'm lucky to still have it now that I'm working as a pensioner. I think your chances of getting such high quality paper on the cheap is hard. But I was looking at art journals that are for sale, and there are still a few good buys in seconds that have only minimal visual issues with them, which would be very easily covered over with a little bit of artwork. So if you have a look at some of those high priced journals, check out their sale and seconds section, and if you do a little bit of drawing or painting, you could save yourself at least $20, sometimes 50% off, by buying journals that have slight marks. The ink that I'm working with is the Jacques Herbin Noir abyssal, or Black Abyss, from the Essentials collection. It's a lovely deep black. It's not a permanent ink, it's a dye-based ink, so if I was to put water over this, it would emulsify. I'd have to be very careful if I used watercolour with this work. I'd have to remember that my ink is soluble. I could use a permanent ink if I wanted to do a full wash across it, and I normally do use a permanent ink, but because it's 30 days ink, 30 inks in 30 days, I wanted to experiment and try out a few different varieties to the ones that I normally use, and I'm quite enjoying working with this ink. You can see I'm working fairly slow. I'm mature age, and it takes me twice as long, sometimes more, to do what I could do much faster when I was younger. But this is the time that it's taking me to do it, and the main thing is to capture this dog's personality. It's not a line drawing. We're trying to capture the darkest darks, and so I'll be using a lot of broken line. It's important to not just draw edges. I loathe drawings that have tightly drawn outline lines around the eyes and the nose. That's not how things are. You're looking for that pattern of light and shade, so that's what I'm looking for very carefully here with my model Tess, is where the darks are, and only putting down the darkest dark where I actually see it with her. I'm using my eyes, not my brain, not allowing my brain to tell me where the edges of the nose are. I'm using my eyes to see where the pattern of light and shade is, and I put down the mark where I see that darkest dark. So not a lot of this sketch will be done with this black. I'll be taking my time and just looking for the very few areas where there is a shadow as dark as black, and there's actually a lot of light illuminating off my subject Tess. So I will be doing this sketch over several different stages, and we're only using this one ink, the Noir abyssal, excuse my French, I'm sure the pronunciation is dreadful, but that is Black Abyss from the Essentials collection by Jacques Herbin. I like all the Herbin inks. They make several ranges. Prior to starting this work, I spent a full 3 days researching art journals. I did not know what to buy for 2026. I have expensive taste in art journals, and I've got a pensioner's budget, and I wanted to make the right choice. As I said, I did see there were a lot of good quality seconds available, and I think that would be a good idea on a tight budget. I even considered buying a 2025 journal, and I've done that before, and changing the dates myself. If money's tight and you are an illustrator and you can cover over the dates and make new ones, that's a great way of saving money. Anyway, after spending 3 days, I made my decision and paid my money, and I got an email back saying thank you, and thank you for your patience. We're busy. It's going to take us 6 weeks before we send the goods. Well, no, I wasn't happy. I cancelled it and asked for and I got a refund, because I don't mind if they were going to take 6 weeks before they sent me the journal. If they told me that before I went through the payment checkout and they deducted my money. It's a little bit cheeky to take a fair bit of money from somebody and hold it for 6 weeks to get the interest on that money before they even send it. And I think they need to let you know if they're going to do that. And well, good for them that they've got so much business that they have a 6 weeks delay in sending, but maybe they could employ a few people to help them. There are a lot of people who could do with a job, and it seems like they're getting the income in, so maybe they should spend it instead of telling me that I have to wait to get my product. So I'm back to square one again, and I have no journal planned for next year. And I'm just thinking that I might recycle some of the stuff that I've got. As I said, if you can do a little bit of illustration, sketching or painting, you can put things together. So there may be a whole lot of recycled journals. There may be journals made from scratch. I've got all the equipment, the threads and the needles and everything to sew up my own art journals. So follow me and see what I'm doing, because even I don't know at this stage. But I've certainly got plenty of good subjects. I've got my lovely model Tess, and don't let her innocent face fool you. She loves chewing up fountain pens, the corners of journals, and good quality watercolour brushes. So if I don't trust her, neither should you. But she brings me a lot of joy, as does my Lamy 2000 fountain pen and working with high quality paper. So happy creativity. It would help me if you enjoy my videos to give the video a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.